Folks, we're one night away from seeing if Hale State Hoops can punch the first national championship in school history. They'll have to be perfect to beat a team about as close to perfect as you can get. WCBI Sports Director Robbie has more on the dogfight from Dallas.
Thank you, Tom, and good evening. We are courtside here at the American Airlines Center in Dallas for the 2017 Women's Final Four. By this time tomorrow night, we will have basketball on this floor. This place will be packed, and Mississippi State and UConn will be going at it for the right to play for the national championship. The Bulldogs were actually on this very floor just a little bit earlier today as they got in their final on-court and on-site practice before the big-time matchup with the #1 overall seed UConn Huskies. You've heard me say it every time I've come on the air. 115 straight wins, 4 straight national championships, 10 straight Final Fours. This UConn team almost, it appears to be unbeatable. But the way you talk to this Mississippi State team, the way you see them at practice, the intensity that they are showing, they do in fact remember what happened last year when they got beaten by 60. That game, that is what's driving them. That's the fuel to the fire for the Bulldogs. And they're coming into this with nothing to lose. They want to prove the doubters wrong, and they think that they're playing their best basketball right now. So why not? It's the perfect time to play UConn when you're playing at your best.
We've got to continue to play like we're playing, which right now we're playing as well as we've played all year. So if I'm going to have to play them, which I am, now's the time to play them from my perspective in controlling the things that I can control. And that's kind of what we've tried to focus on this whole tournament is let's control Mississippi State.
It doesn't matter who is seen as the #1 team here. It's about who's hot and who's playing the best team ball together. And so I feel like if someone's hot, they're hot, and you have to be the better team for one game. It's not like you have to be better for 6 out of 7, 5 out of 7. So I feel like if we just focus on that one goal and the little pieces, then we'll come together and we'll possibly get the win.
Being here is just to win it all. You know, we're a great team, and I feel like we got the potential, and like we do everything everybody else do, so we have the chance to win just like everybody else.
Every day we come to work and practice, we know that we're not satisfied. Like this is not where, like, getting in the first game is not where we want to end our season. Like we've come too far to end right now.
The last time we played them, I think it was just the feeling of, oh yeah, we're playing a great team in the country, and of course they are. It's not just that. It's not just on paper. They really are a great team, and I think right now we're more prepared and we feel more relaxed to just go in there and play.
UConn also had their 2-hour practice before Mississippi State's at the American Airlines Center. It was a little less intense for those first 15 minutes for us to be able to catch on video. Just some simple shooting, just working inside and outside. So not much you can really see here on video, but this is still an extremely talented UConn team. People who say that they're down from last year, yes, they are in fact down from last season. They're not as talented as they were last season with the likes of Mariah Jefferson and Breanna Stewart, but you still have Katie Lou Samuelson. You still got a tremendously talented team with Kia Nurse. Just all through the line, it's a very good UConn team, but in fact, there's actually some similarities that Gino Auriemma was able to draw between his UConn team and Mississippi State. He just hopes he sees them play on Friday night.
How are they going to handle this situation that they're in right now? I have no idea, but it's not going to be that much different than how's Mississippi State going to handle their first Final Four? How are those kids going to handle being here for the very first time? You know, we all have the same issues. You know, this is not an easy environment to play in, and both teams, I think, are going to see the effects of that.
Now, many of the UConn players on the team right now didn't really factor too much into that 60-point win in Bridgeport last season in the Sweet 16. Gino Auriemma has continued to say that he's going to remind his team that you have earned nothing. This is still a victory that you need. But the Connecticut players feel like they can still look back from last year's game, take that into this year. But at the end of the day, they feel like if they just play their game, they're going to win.
We talk about it. We say that we've been pretty good all year, pretty solid, and we don't want to try to feel like we have to do anything different. Just go out and play our game.
We talk about some of the keys that helped us win. You know, pretty much the things that help us win every game, getting out in transition and that kind of thing. So pretty much if we play our game, we're not going to change too many things, just try to play UConn basketball.
And Mississippi State's said the same things. If MSU plays their game, they feel like they can win. Say it again, this MSU team is not scared, and Blair Schaefer put it best. They only have to be better than UConn for one game, for 40 minutes, and they are moving on to play for the national championship. It all comes down to tomorrow night when the Bulldogs and Huskies go at it, one win away, 40 minutes away from pulling off what could be one of the greatest upsets in sports history and getting that much closer to Mississippi State's first ever team national championship in all of athletics.